How's it going, everyone? Um, wow, I'm kind of looking like shit right now. Today is day 5. No kratom at all, none. And I do not ever want to go back. I don't ever want to be close to it, because for the last 2 days, the initial, I think, shit feeling has kind of started to die down, starting to make it over the hump. However, today and yesterday, at least during the day, the depression is still fairly moderate, I would say, to the point where it just feels empty, man. And so I've just been browsing the subreddit, um, from time to time, just passing, each hour, um, to get by. I don't have any cravings because, quite honest with you, um, I'm scared to ever go back, and I don't want to go back. Fortunately, Psych Substance got off, and so his videos have really been helping me out. There's been various people on YouTube, and their videos have been helping me out. But man, I don't even think I'm really exaggerating this, just based on my temporary feelings here. But this stuff is pretty serious, and it needs to be taken seriously. I think the leaf. I'm in a gray area where I almost wish selfishly that it wasn't legal for me. So I would just have absolutely no way of ever getting it again. But that's a selfish thought. I think a lot of people have really utilized kratom in a good way to get off the harder opiates, and I'm in complete support for those people who it took that long to get off, with the help of kratom. So um, I'm in the middle. Selfishly, I almost wish it wasn't around, just for myself, just because I would, even if I was tempted, even if I was passing a vape shop or whatever, I wouldn't be able to get it. Um, I do think 7OH needs to be fucking ripped from the shelves. I can't imagine the hell, that's putting people through. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand with that. But right now, I've just been kind of just getting by, to some on, that may be watching this video, I might appear to be relatively okay. But I think it was a couple days ago stopped taking the gabapentin. um, and that's when shit starts to get real, and I could have stayed on it for longer, but I don't really want to be on anything, to be honest with you. I don't want to be on even helper meds for that long. I just want my receptors in my brain to inevitably heal. That's the only thing I want, and the only ingredient really for that is time. And so, fortunately, there's a lot of people online that are really helpful. Sleep has actually been okay for me. I'm a chronic night owl, and so I tend to be more depressed during the days, and my mood slowly goes up. So the worst of it is during the days for me, and then the nights are usually a lot better, at least depression wise. But sleep has actually been okay, and I used to struggle with sleep a lot in my younger days. So I've been getting anywhere from 6 to 8. I'm very happy for that. I mean, I can't complain. I could be getting 1 to 2, and I'm very, very prone to that, especially in my younger life. I was definitely very prone to that. So, but it seems like fatigue is much more of an issue in my later life now. So, it seems like sleep can be relatively easier for me to get. My digestion has gotten better. Things GI wise have gotten better, if you know what I mean, except for probably a little bit of loose stool today. We're on day 5 and we're going strong and we ain't quitting. No way. I told my mom this time around, because I thought last time I could hide it. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but I like to have medications around just in case. And some of them, the last time I had a pack of 7OH and a pack of Kratom in there, and I don't even know why I kept it, because it was just a downhill spiral. Once I had an Adderall script for ADHD that I used to take in my younger days in high school, and the last year I got a script, for that back, and I will not be taking that anymore as well. I don't think that's conducive to my dopamine receptors healing from this, because um, even though I probably only took this for about 6 months in total time, I think that it's going to take me at least 6 months, possibly a year, to recover. Who knows? I could be talking out my ass, but I just feel like this is going to take a while to start feeling better. And if you're watching this, if you're also on day 5, like I feel you, I'm in your spot right now. And the only thing we can do is really dedicate ourselves to not taking this anymore. And no matter how hard it gets, just keep hanging on each day. That's the only thing. At least in the beginning, it's very imperative that we take this, one day at a time. And that's really all we can do. I did get off Wellbutrin, I think, a few months ago. And surprisingly, I was okay up until about a week ago. And I was taking Kratom last weekend. And I started to feel, that very familiar hollow feeling set in, the depression. I don't know if that has anything related to getting off the Wellbutrin, but it's more likely that that's the case. If that goes on for too long, I will end up going back on the Wellbutrin. However, I would like to give this a solid shot at getting better, just without anything. That's my life goal. At 30 years old now, I'll be 31 in a handful of months, and I don't want to make these same mistakes. For a number of years in my 20s, I was sober, and I was on a number of medications I've had to get off. Seroquel was one of them. I've had a past booze addiction. I fortunately did not drink this time. I haven't drank for about 6 years, and I got that on my side. And I stopped using nicotine in 2022. And fortunately, throughout all this past year of absolute bullshit, I haven't smoked or drank alcohol, and that's a very good thing for me personally. But I think the real thing is the kratom, and kicking that and recovering from that. I think that is, above all. I've come off Adderall before, and I haven't felt like I have coming off the kratom. Maybe it's the fact that I'm older. Maybe it's the fact that I have less energy. I can't really pinpoint at this point in time. But I do know that this is a bigger beast than it may appear. And, unfortunately, it also got its hooks in me a little bit. And if I can just nip it in the bud now and never, ever go back, I can be okay in the future. And that's exactly why I'm going through this hard process right now. So if you're in this with me, I totally understand that. And right now, I'm just reminding myself I'm pretty much in the heat of it, and things are, I think, at the top and, going down. So I'm just going to call it that, and just one day at a time, one hard motherfucking day at a time. I have the nights to look forward to. That's pretty much the only thing I'm telling myself right now. It's usually at nighttime, my depression levels go down. And, when I'm hanging out, just chilling in bed, it's really my favorite moments right now. Having to work 40 hours through this and having to pay a mortgage on a condo and have all these responsibilities are tough. And, but I don't have it the worst. I'm not unique by any means. I don't have a wife and kids I got to take care of. I don't even have a girlfriend. So really, things in that regard are pretty easy. And I'm fortunate enough that my mom is still around. Not to get too personal, but my dad passed away when I was very young, so he's not here to help, but my mom is, and so I'm very, very grateful for that. And so if it wasn't for her, even today, I wouldn't have been able to clean my condo up and get things in order. She really helped me with that. So just for the next few months, I'll sit here and day by day, just try to do the best I can, get through the hard times, and really put this in the past. We need to. We're not fucking around, man. We're taking a sledgehammer to this shit. We're beating it in the ground. We're getting it through. Because I was really feeling like this was gonna go down a bad path of just being on it forever. And who wants to be addicted to anything forever? But since there's so many there's so many alkaloids in the kratom leaf, we don't quite understand how it interacts with all the receptors that we know that it might hit. One that I'm very interested in is its interaction with the adrenergic receptors. That's what gives it its stimulant kind of properties. And, just not having much energy and fatigue when you come off this stuff is just indicative of some kind of interaction with those receptors. And how long does it take for that to heal? You know, everyone's different. Some people say 6 months, 8 months. Some people say it takes a full year. Granted, I only used for about 6 months time. Um, we're gonna find out how long it takes, and we're gonna do whatever it takes. Another thing that I have kept up doing is working out. I've been working out for almost a few years now, and I want to get back on the cardio train. I've really just been able to have enough energy to do lifting, but I work a pretty, active job where I'm walking 15,000 steps a day. That's been a fucking challenge, but it's also been a blessing in another way where, I'm moving. My body's still moving. But really, I think, if possible, cardio is probably the best way to try to give yourself some of those endorphins that you've been, kind of just pumping out unearned with the Kratom use. And, I'm talking to myself here, so it's like if you're going through this too, it's like this is what I got to deal with. I got to try to, maybe do better. It's just a lot, when you work a strenuous job. So, but lifting, has definitely been kind of hard to do, and I could probably get a workout going right now, but I don't know if I could have, it'd probably have, half the effort of, what I would normally have just to get through. But yeah, I don't know. Just want to make an update video. We're gonna just keep going, and this time I'm putting it out there, not just for me, but to help someone else in the future. But also so my stubborn ass can go and look back on this and realize, how much it really impacted me. Because I think I kind of forgot about that. The last time I made it about 45 days, and this time we're really going without anything, man. I don't trust myself to take anything, man. And I had to realize that, poured out everything I had. I think I lost my train of thought earlier, but I had a medication box, with stuff, and threw that away in front of my mom, threw everything away because, I had saved some last time, and I just don't trust myself. I don't want it in the house. I don't want it fucking anywhere. And so all of it, anything that could be abused is out, nothing. And I didn't abuse anything for years, but this stuff really took me down kind of an addictive path, and, it's scary, definitely, but that's the reality. And so, one day at a time. Can't overwhelm the self too much. So if you're going through this, I really understand. And, we got to just, be vigilant and just take it one day at a time. All right. Peace, guys. Take care.